so I got my vest on, and I got to deal with the conflict resolution strategy. See, I understand that part of the psyop that is going on right now is that somebody may or may not be trying to get me to accede to the fact that I'm being put through some kind of training. They've been doing this. They've been training me for years, presumably in intelligence. And I'm supposed to understand that what they're talking about in doublespeak is actually somehow about trying to get me to think outside the box or to chase down some sort of like other deal and then, go back and sit through it and blah, blah, blah. So, all the things, the psychological things that they do to trigger me without giving me any counseling, without giving me anyone to actually talk to, with a consistent pattern that has already been automated that I already know was originally coded into my first set of patient notes, but then was augmented after they kidnapped me and set me up for another round of patient notes. And has been cycled through considering the benchmarks connected to my reports to various agencies that have been reassigned, especially now that we've got this COVID 19 and everything has been getting centralized, and then it just gets parsed out to other people without me getting anybody to talk to or anything like that. So, in the course of this, somebody wears this leather vest around. Well, I've got in the background all of this big leather daddy porn, and I saw it. It was on the 6th month after the implementation of a order from the FCC concerning submarine cables. And it said that it had been several years that they had been trying to implement this, but it kept getting stalled. But they had issued an order, and that 6 months from the date of that order was to be the mandated implementation of that order. It had to be implemented by that 6 month day, and I just so happened to find it the day before that 6 month. But the problem is, I found it the day before that 6 month, but 2 days after I woke up with an assembly line of young women that honestly did not look like they were old enough to vote, much less run for Congress, being compelled to perform a service role by a man in a black leather vest behind them, all of them lined up in a nice assembly line. All of them perfectly in sync, and all of the men behind them perfectly in sync too, right? You literally did it. I saw it. Even with all the confidentiality, I'm actually at that level. And I don't approve. I don't care if they did approve. And I don't care if the women or the likenesses of the women you're trying to represent in that manner approved, with an understanding that at some point there would be a swap or there would be a transition in the paradigm, and then they would get to vest with their leather garb and then maybe find some gender or ethnic preference for them to put into a similar kind of commissioning, which is what I now understand was the enticement. So every time he wears that black leather vest and sits there and says something crypto, you know, it's triggering. So I know what I'm supposed to do is I'm supposed to match it, right? I'm supposed to put on my vest that's way too big. You know, that was, a hand me down. I just patched it myself, right? I took the stuffing out of it. All of that fake filler. I took out the filler, right? And what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to vest? Who am I vesting? Do you got me working some young college guys because I won't go too young? You try to give me the 14, 15-year-old boys. Tell me don't worry about it. You're a school teacher. It's okay. I said no. So that's not an option. So you're going to have me doing a remote distance learning on what? Do I get to move into the Ivy League after you've already farmed me out for the military academies and the merchant marine academies, as opposed to actually answering my goddamn fucking reports to the fucking committee you're assigned to? I'm sorry. Healthcare, right? That's what you want to talk about? You wasted my entire fucking life, and you wasted every legal effort I made so that you could go argue Crossfire Hurricane under the guise of Medicare for All.